Hi, I'm Mipsy, and today I'll be reading my fanfic, An Appropriate Workplace Relationship. It's based upon the works of Toby Fox. Please do not train AI on my works. Rating, teen and up audiences. I asked my friends for advice on rating this fic, and this is what was suggested. Please note, this fic contains suggestive content that may not be appropriate for some audiences. Archive warnings. No archive warnings apply. Category, male/male. Fandom, Deltarune video game. Relationships, Spamton, Tenna. Characters, Tenna, Deltarune. Spamton, Cowboy Hat Mike, Deltarune. Small Mike, Deltarune. Additional tags, Ben and Snap, Big Shot Era Spamton, Big Shot Era Tenna, Deltarune, implied sexual content, inappropriate workplace behavior, inappropriate workplace relationships, sleeping your way to the top, Spamtenna, challenge, Spamtenna Week 2026, Day 1, Kiss on the Palm /hand. This work is part of the series Star, Sparkle, Rainbow, Sparkle Heart Capitalism, Sparkle Heart, Rainbow, Sparkle Star, and the collection Spamtenna Week. Summary. I love how much we match, Tenna mused as Spamton bent over, ass out, untying his shoes. Oh, is it getting hot in here? That ass! Oh, lighteners above. That was a sight better than anything he'd ever set his screen on before. Tenna? My pants! Spamton demanded. Here! Tenna handed him his button-up shirt. It's 15 minutes till curtain, and Tenna's guest star, the recently hired Spamton, is a no-show. Was it a mistake to promote the E_male guy so soon? But then Tenna thought of his charming smile, his derriere, a direct manner of speaking, how good he looked wearing his clothes, their matching costumes. Spamton in tight-fitting faux leather pants. That ass! Hiring Spamton was absolutely the right decision for TV time. No further questions, Mike. I wrote this piece for the Spamtenna challenge in February 2026. It can be read as a standalone /one-shot, while also being canon compliant with my Star, Sparkle, Rainbow, Sparkle Heart Capitalism, Sparkle Heart, Rainbow, Star, Sparkle series. Cover art description. Tenna kneels beside Spamton in the green room. He holds Spamton's hands in his. A flower blooms from his nose, and the light from his screen illuminates Spamton's face and hands. Spamton is tracked in snow. Particular attention has been paid to his derriere. The text, An Appropriate Workplace Relationship, is displayed prominently between the two lovers. The words, by Mipsy and Based on the works of Toby Fox, are written in the background. Without further ado, it was late. Much too late. Where in the world was Spamton? Call time was 45 minutes ago. They were on in 15. He wouldn't have any time to get into costume or do his makeup when he got here. Where was he? Tenna paced the floor of the green room, wringing his hands. Mike, could you call Spamton? Already on it, boss. Mike, wearing a cowboy hat, answered. But he ain't picked up the last 5 times we tried calling, you know. Not sure what'll be different about this one. Doesn't he have a pager? He should be getting the message even if he's away from his phone, Tenna tutted. He wasn't an iota good with new technology, yet somehow he understood how that ancient device from the 1900s worked. Maybe he ain't at the phone to call back or something? But doesn't the Congadero have a car phone? It was fancy. It was top of the line. It ought to have a car phone in it. Was Spamton on the line with someone else? Why would Spamton prefer to talk on the phone with someone more than pick up for his place of employment? Did he not appreciate Tenna? No, he was probably just afraid to answer because he knew he was about to get told off for being late. Speak of the angel and they shall appear. The exterior door swung open, blowing in snow and lowering the temperature of the room. Maybe they should add a second set of doors and some locks beyond it. It was annoying hearing the employees complain about the chill, and it was irksome having to remind the custodian to put out the caution wet floor sign so that they didn't get sued. Spamton, hair clinging to his face and covered in snow, teeth chattering, wearing his favorite black blazer with a white turtleneck underneath and no gloves on his bare hands, came stomping in slush. Are you all right? All concern about Spamton being late disappeared as Tenna took in his state. His cheeks were flushed more than usual, and snowflakes dotted his lashes. He looked freezing. Spam had skin, didn't he? So he was more susceptible to damage from the cold than Tenna. My luxury sports cars got stuck in a how to get my car out of a snowbank, he shivered. Why didn't you use your car phone to call for help? Tenna reasoned, immediately dipping down to his knees and taking Spamton's hands in his own, massaging warmth back into them. Spamton opened his mouth, jaw dropping. After a moment, he closed it again, before reopening it and closing it as if he wanted to talk, but no words came out. Oh, Spammy! Did the snow impact your voice box? Tenna asked, bringing his palm up to his mouth, breathing warm air onto it. Your hands are freezing. Spamton took the convenient excuse, turning his face away from Tenna's. He closed his jaw, keeping it firmly set. Tenna brought one of his hands directly to his screen, feeling the chill against his glass. Do you need some TV Time TM promotional gloves? Are they free? Oh, goody, Spamton's voice had returned. Oh, well, I was going to charge you for them in points, Tenna mused. They're $32.99. Spamton pulled his hands back, but Tenna's robotic grip was too firm. I'm not paying that truly outrageous price. That's report theft. What was Tenna supposed to do? He couldn't just start giving his merchandise away. Spamton knew that. But maybe there was something else that he could lend him instead? His personal gloves? Tenna let go of Spamton's hands, and he immediately pulled them away, crossing his arms over his chest. He was still shivering. Tenna slowly removed his gloves. Give me your hands, he asked, firmly. Spamton narrowed his brows. You're not gonna... That'll cost extra for them. No, these are my personal gloves. They're not official TV Time TM merchandise, Tenna confirmed. Spamton hesitantly held out his hands. Tenna slipped the first glove on. The fingers were much too large for Spamton's small appendages, begging about. The gloves were meant to end at the wrist, but it dragged partway up his forearm, over his blazer. I can't bring it around town. My Congadero in these, Spamton mused. Don't worry about the Congadero. Mike, he called. Yes, boss? The cowboy hat-wearing employee came scampering over. Get Spamton's car out of the snowbank, would you? He rubbed at Spam's gloved hand, loving the feeling of his clothes on the little showman. Right on it, boss! Cowboy Hat Mike went running, gathering up other crew members to help. He slipped his second glove onto Spamton's other hand before taking it in his. Tenna guided Spamton back to his personal dressing room, not Spamton's. Do you need any help getting ready? I could use some help wanted, Spamton agreed. Once they were safely inside the dressing room, Tenna locked the door. Spammy? He asked. We don't have tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. He sounded disappointed. We can make it quick, Tenna suggested, loosening his tie. I know how. We're going to be late. I was trash-sheep, he teased, stripping off his clothes. Be a ethnic fashion doll's $1.99. And fetch my SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton costume. Would you? In the back of his mind, Tenna wanted to retort that he was the boss around here and Spamton could get his own costume. But instead, he immediately did as the little mailman asked. He brought Spamton a dress shirt, a tailcoat, a pair of shiny black skin-tight trousers to match his own, and a bright yellow bow tie. I love how we match, Tenna mused, as Spamton bent over, ass out, untying his shoes. Was it getting hot in here? That ass! Oh, lighteners above! That was a sight better than anything he'd ever set his screen on before. Tenna! Tenna! My pants! Spamton demanded. Here! Tenna handed him his button-up shirt. Not what I asked Jeeves for, but thanks. Spamton stood up, and Tenna suddenly found it possible to think again. You should take off your pants again, Tenna floundered. After the show, Spamton teased, turning around to face his boss as he buttoned up his shirt. He grabbed his bow tie and licked his lips tantalizingly as he fastened it around his neck. My jacket? He asked, holding out his hand. Distracted, Tenna took Spamton's hand in his own, bringing his palm to his lips. He kissed, wanting to show Spamton what he really wanted to do. He wanted nothing more than to kiss him somewhere that was decidedly not appropriate for television. Mr. Antenna's TV time! We're on air in 10, 9, 8. We can make it quick, Tenna suggested, still holding onto Spamton's tailcoat. You're going to get a "What's boning on stage boob tube," Spamton warned, taking his tailcoat from Tenna himself. He turned around and adjusted it in the mirror. Unfortunately, it covered his supple ass. "Hey, Spam?" Tenna murmured, a voice unusually quiet for him. "Care to lift that tailcoat out of the way?" "Just give me my panting.mp3. He grabbed his trousers, stepping into them. "We've got time, Spam," Tenna suggested, hand coming to squeeze beneath the tailcoat. "No, donuts." Spamton pushed Tenna away, climbing up onto the counter. "Where's the Kiss Pro Watt ceramic tourmaline hairdryer?" He grabbed some powder. "Ugh, my cheeks are all red. "Don't cover them up," Tenna teased, plugging in the hairdryer, placing a hand on Spamton's shoulder to turn him away from the mirror, facing his screen again. "You're handsome exactly the way that you are." "I don't like my—" "Come here, sweet cheeks." Spamton turned his face to the side. Tenna leaned forwards, tilting his nose out of the way and closing the space between them. "I love your cheeks, rosiness and all." Tenna placed a kiss upon his little mailman's cheek, heat from his fans lingering. He was wonderfully warm. Spamton finally felt the blood returning to his bones. "Please, Aunt," he squirmed. "I want the Google AdSense revenue. I need to go day one on stage /behind the scenes." "Spamton, wouldn't you rather put on a show just for me?" Tenna teased, peppering kisses down from his cheek to his neck. "Knock, knock, knock." "Blazes!" Mike called. Tenna continued kissing, hand undoing Spamton's freshly applied bow tie. "Knock, knock, knock." "Places!" Mike called out, louder and more frantic. "Places, Tenna! Places!" Spamton kicked Tenna in the chest. "Q&A, the door, CRT. I'm going to get my fashion accessories." He unplugged the hairdryer and hopped off the vanity, going for his corniest earring banana yellow shoes. At least donning the costume pair would give his classic wingtips a chance to dry. They weren't his style, but matching with Tenna had endeared him to the CRT. And wasn't it nice to have the TV host wrapped around his little finger? Honestly, Tenna was desperate for him. All Spamton had to do was put out, and he got perks nobody else in the cast and crew were privy to. If he played his cards right, he'd be able to ask for a raise, and maybe to be paid in dark dollars instead of points. Heck, he'd started out as the E_mail guy, and now he was a guest star. If he kept bending over for Tenna, riling him up, maybe he'd get him desperate enough to offer Spamton a position as permanent co-host. "Hey, are you and Spamton sharing a dressing room now?" Mike asked, awkwardly standing at the door. He had a comb-over now, not a cowboy hat. He still has his own dressing room," Tenna stated. Spamton could clearly be seen putting on his belt from the doorway. "Get behind the podium before curtains go up," Mike suggested, at eye level with Tenna's crotch. Tenna gave one last glance at Spamton, grabbing the little mailman's black blazer from the floor to cover his trousers with. Spamton, pinning a brooch onto the lapel of his suit, sidled up beside Mike. "Keep this between the sheets, us?" Mike sighed, tucking a microphone behind Spamton's ear and burying the body pack transmitter in a hidden pocket made possible by his shoulder padding. "You don't have to do this," Mike whispered, head right up next to Spamton's ear. "But I want to," Spamton replied, giving Mike a pat on the back before hurrying out of the dressing room. Oh, prophecy, he was going to be late. The end. Author's notes. Acknowledgements. Thank you so much to the lovely folks over at Spamtenna Freakdown for listening to me read the story aloud. It was exceptionally helpful to get some additional ears on it and test out the flow of the words. I'm especially grateful for your feedback when I had concerns about overusing certain terms, and to the individuals who suggested such phrasings as appendages and corneas earring. The sense of community from the amazing lighteners in the Spamtenna Freak Den is reassuring and gives me the safety to try new mediums and experiment. Y'all provide endless encouragement and foster creativity in me that I haven't felt in years.